Pokémon games are an absolute staple of the gaming industry. They're forever evolving while keeping a balance of innovation and not straying too far from that nostalgic formula that we all know and love. Every Pokémon game to date has brought with it a sense of childlike wonder and discovery, the promise of adventure across new lands, and the goal of being the very best.
Like no one ever was.
But with a promised Nintendo Switch game on the way, there's the possibility of massive changes to the series that we've come to adore. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I'm excited, and the following are a number of reasons why. I'm Eddie from Oddbox, and these are 5 reasons why Pokémon Switch might be amazing. Number 5, a true open world. And while I'm not a massive fan of most open world games, the easily comparable Breath of the Wild has cemented the fact that when it's done right, they can be fairly feckin' incredible. The latest addition to the Zelda franchise was a living, breathing world you could actually live in. And although Pokémon Sun and Moon definitely got closer to that feeling, the world feels a little static, and dare I say that some traditional elements to the Pokémon formula may be what's holding it back. What I would love to see is this. Instead of random encounters in tall grass, you as a wide-eyed adventurer simply stumble across wild Pokémon roaming through a forest as the morning sun splits through the trees. Peaceful bliss, before then throwing your trusty and always useful lure ball at their adorable faces. Number 4, Photo Mode. For any of you, like me, old enough to remember the pure thrill that was the best game of all time, Pokémon Snap, I'm sure you'll agree that this feature is a must. For the same reasons I mentioned before, this simply has to be a feature included in Pokémon Switch. If you can picture for a moment catching a split-second glimpse of a Celebi darting through an ancient ruin, sneaking up through some overgrowth and catching a majestic shot of a mythical Pokémon before it flies off into the distance, never to be seen again. I suppose you'd kick yourself for not attempting to catch the legendary Pokémon, but at least you nabbed a top-class photo for your Instagram or chat snap or whatever the kids do these days. Pinterest. Moving on. Number 3, choice of difficulty. Every game in the franchise thus far has been what one would call, in my native homeland at least, a piece of piss. With the exception of an odd difficulty spike here and there in the earlier games, rarely are we forced to whip out our Pokédex to gain tactical advantage. What's the point really, when you can simply and quickly grind a few levels above a gym leader in order to attain that shiny new fashion statement that is a gym badge? Granted, the ease of progressing at a smooth pace through our adventure remains in place due to the large portion of younger players, but I still don't see how giving the option to take a tougher road to the Pokémon League couldn't at least exist for those seeking a challenge. Number 2, a character creator. And yes, we get to somewhat customize our protagonists in the most recent entries of the long-standing franchise, but I think it's time. Time we go all the way. But in reality, what we'll probably get is fully fledged customization for our young main character. Anything other than a 10-year-old embarking on their maiden Pokemon adventure might be a push too far for now. Although, wouldn't you just love to see your custom-made Donald Trump sweetly bid his mother goodbye and set off on a grand quest across the Pokemon region? That would be amazing. Number 1, deep story and characters. So when Pokemon Black and White was released, which was 8 years ago, Jesus Christ, I'm old. Anyway, we were surprised to be treated by what is, in my humble opinion, the best narrative in a Pokemon game to date. Conflicts of an ideal world and themes of Pokemon abuse, I'm not joking, made for some heavy moments in what is among one of my favourite entries in the franchise. But ever since we were treated to such a gripping tale, we've only been left wondering why the following games decided to play it safe and return to a more simplistic story. What I'd truly love to see is a BioWare pre-Andromeda level of character development, a story that stirs a political balance of the Pokemon world, a world divided and on the brink of yet another Pokemon war, death, misery, betrayal, heartbreak, and all while remaining cutesy. Is that too much to ask? And that, my beautiful lads and lassies, wraps up the list. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that little notification thing. The bell, I think it's a bell. Looks like a bell. to see more useless videos just like this one.